And we're live, bros. Right?
What
Yep.
is up,
Audio good, video good.
yo? We are live, but are we alive? So
That's, I
I
mean,
guess it depends when they're watching this. This could be being viewed in the year 3000 by Duck Dodgers, for all we know.
I, I mean, the people outside the simulation might be giggling at us saying this in this simulation. So,
Fourth dimension, just streaming third dimension content. That's. If we had a way to watch fourth dimensional TV, you better believe I'd be watching it. Even if I couldn't comprehend it, I'd tune in.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate
I
everybody
mean,
watching us live. Hit that
that's
repost
what DMT is.
button. Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Hit the repost button if you're watching this on X. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else, you can go ahead and share it on your socials. But then, like, delete those apps and come on over to X and watch us at hashtag Not Another Bitcoin Podcast over here on X.
Yep.
I'm with my co-host Miggy, as always. This guy can't shake him. Every time I'm here, he's there. Just doesn't
Like a
go
bad
away.
habit.
Yeah. And we got our guest today, Corey Cattell. How goes it, bro?
It's going good, man. It's going good.
Goes well. All right, man. I appreciate
well.
you having me on the Nefty show earlier this week. That was a lot of fun. Miss Juan got to
Man.
catch up.
Yeah, it was good. It's good stuff. For sure.
I
Brand
need to
new
go back
show.
and watch it.
Yeah, guys, definitely go check out the Nefty show. I was just on there. You can catch up. I guess I kind of wanted to kick things off a little bit metaversy. I want to get meta with you since
Nice.
I feel like ever since Zuckerberg kind of took a step away from that conversation, he stole the whole conversation with him. It was weird, right?
Right.
He's like, Meta is done. We're not doing the metaverse, and then like the word just stopped. It just wasn't trending anymore, and I feel like that's like a misnomer. There's a lot of metaverse-esque development happening. It's just come back to the grassroots. Those mainstream players like Zuckerberg, I think, just realized, it's probably going to be better to join something somebody else is building rather than trying to build his own thing and forcing us, the square peg into his proverbial round hole. I'm just curious, like, what is your view on the metaverse, kind of after everything with the NFT bubble, the metaverse bubble kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of like, what's left after both those bubbles got nuked, right? But my favorite thing about the way that we started in the first place anyway was that we get to experiment with just that sense of you can be in a place that's persistent. That people can actually own a piece of it, change it, invite people to come and be there, because that's just sort of my theory of the case, or our theory of the case over at Uplift is that that's just kind of the way it should be, right? Like if you can't walk into a persistent world and make changes to that world yourself that are going to be then they're persistent for all time, as much as we can make it, right? So that Ken can come there a year later, or or it becomes this potential for almost being a historical artifact. Like it's sort of a real place, right? Like you get that sense that it's real. That for me is like the sort of the whole thing, right? So of course we're using Minecraft as the base layer, and now an open source thing called Mine Test. But I mean, like it's slow, right? Like we're sort of having to going back to base principles, which is ultimately an interesting exercise. Like what really is the value here? Like what are people really going to want to do with this stuff? And then on top of that, we're going to ride this meme coin wave like it's our job.
Nice. Yeah, I think the meme coin economy is going to be the economy that develops the metaverse. Sort of like,
You're probably right.
how you have the mafia to thank for Las Vegas. We're going to have the meme mafia to thank for the metaverse version of Las Vegas. It's coming, and they're the developers and real estate investors. They're the degenerates that want it, and they don't care what it costs to get
That's
it.
true. Well, and they've got like an unbelievably insane amount of market capital to do it now. So what are you gonna do?
Yep.
Gotta do
Crush
something.
anything in their
Crazy.
path.
Yeah, 100%. They're a meta size, bulldozer now.
Yeah. Or buy it out and then just make it disappear.
If you were,
Control
if, I
everything.
mean, obviously you are running, a project in meme coin. We got Shipple, we got Lithium.
Shipple.
I love.
I
the
still got my
meme-y,
Shipple.
I'm known for shit coinery. I call everything a shit
Yep.
coin. Don't take it. disrespectfully. I kind of did my thing and I took it back. It's a term of
Yep.
endearment, god damn it. So
Show
Hell yeah.
did.
with all of our shitcoinery going on and the metaverse sort of having a new infrastructure layer with all these developments that have been happening during the crypto winter, like Asvoria and everything else, like Uplift and whatever. I'm just like curious, like if you were just coming into the idea of the metaverse, but you had a community token, how would you utilize the metaverse for your community token? Like what's like the point. I see a lot of projects that have a good community and they're growing in like Telegram and Discords, and they're just not seeing the value of investing in that metaverse experience for their community.
Yeah, that's kind of an open question for me now too, right? Like we've got one of the things we're doing at Uplift is we're sort of creating a little bit more of a decentralized thing. Like all of our land NFTs still work, the server still works. We're going to get some play and earn mechanics that are actually going to be a lot more about social, right? You'll go and punch the sign, but 5 people need to be there to kind of earn some uplifting and that kind of thing. But I've got some grants out now to other people that are running other servers that are sort of experimenting with different methodologies, and it really does lean into the gaming side of it, right? Like having some pretty intense gaming arcs. Like it's going to cost you some uplifting to get into the server for the season or whatever, and then you grind out a bunch of stuff, and like you might make some, you might not, but you're definitely going to have fun, like that kind of thing. That it's a lot more sustainable than you remember the Our Planet days. There was just like hyperinflation to the moon or whatever, right? So that it seems to be the new thing, and that's really kind of it's it's always in the back of my mind. I was actually just in the server, the main Uplift server today. I was standing in the gratitude tower. I haven't stood there for like way too long. Got all the feels. Your guys' names are up in that tower, like a dozen times. Like it's sort of, it's a whole thing. But I mean, my focus right now, because this is, I think, where the energy is going to come, is the freaking meme coin stuff. The Shipple stuff's going bananas. The Keck thing is going bananas. Juan and I are talking about dropping a full hardcore meme token on Wax. That's pretty planned out. Lithium is getting set to do some really, really good things. I think like you take a look at the entire play to earn space, all of it, like the entire market cap of the entire play to earn space, the entire market cap of every Web3 thing that's doing metaverse, like one meme coin probably has more. Like Bonk itself by itself probably has more.
That's
right?
a good point.
So it as much as that's in the back of my head, and we're gonna do some stuff this cycle with with the uplift stuff on all fronts, just focusing on lithium right now and the mechanics. Like we've got cool mining, we've got some cool stuff already that we can do that is from blends from the NFTs and that kind of thing. So that's kind of where I've been focused, right? Because if we can get any fragment of that, then we can start, basically, I think, funding with grants people to start experimenting all sorts of different ways, right? So like whether it's in the primary uplift servers, or whether it's in some collab where Asphoria takes our world files and like somehow prints them there, and we can attach the NFTs to that, right? Like
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean that's like I talked to Russell about this, like that to me, I actually looked into, so I know it's possible. I just didn't want to learn how to do Unreal 5, and like the guys behind Asphoria, they clearly know what they're doing. Like what their stuff in Unreal 5 is freaking amazeballs.
Yeah,
and getting to that point, right? Like
real quick, I just want to kind of get into the chat. We got a couple people right now. Matty the Batty, aka ACU5. He says, "Tell Ken to say hi."
Hi, I love you, ACU5.
And then he's just giving some shout outs and some love from the Asvoria YouTube. And then on Ken's YouTube we got Katoshi Syndicate. What's up? He says based.
How good is
Soul
it?
Shitters. TC, what's up, bro? And the Frosty Scoop, holla holla.
And then head on over to X. Everybody watching, head over
hit
to
up
X.
We're streaming on Asvoria. Ken has his stream going, and you can find us on there. Go check it out. And then Keith on Facebook. Bro, we'll teach you. He says he doesn't know shit. He just be buying stuff and hoping for the best.
So, I'll be honest, bro. That sometimes is a way better strategy than people doing way too much research and not enough moves.
And Dave Paul, what's up, Paul? He says he's dropped a link about music and an AI musical he got registered that he made. That's cool. Congrats.
Oh
And he
shit, bro!
says,
Hit me up. I need to
yeah,
figure
that's
out
pretty
some music for
badass.
the podcast. So I might need to
He
talk to
said,
you.
totally side note, love you guys. Love what you guys have made with the podcast and love and light. What's up, Paul? Yeah, he
Thank
dropped the
you.
link in the chat, so
Appreciate that,
appreciate you,
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, head on
All
over
right,
to
just
X.
wanted to
We
show.
need as many reposts as we can get, guys. Much
Get
appreciated.
to X. Yeah, we're streaming all on X. Go follow Corey if you're not following Corey, bro. That'd be cool to get uplifted in his Voria.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
really, and
it
that's
just
I think that's the key to true metaverses is the collaborative efforts,
yeah,
interoperability.
I think so too.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
especially
like
like you were talking about with portals and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Like,
Portal.
well, and that's the thing. Like that. That's I've had so many people ask me that. Like to kind of go from Minecraft into an Unreal 5 kind of environment, right? But then to like make that seamless as a user experience would just be nuts. Like even if there's like a waiting screen and like everything's going by that screen, you have to wait for like 10, 15 seconds, whatever it is, but you go from like a door in the Minecraft
Yeah.
version of the Uplift into like a crazy Unreal 5 version. Like it's just like
Oh, and that
that's
loading
just
screen could be an
take all my money.
experience, like a portal or like
Very
the
good
view,
point.
like the
100%.
unpacking experience on like Nifty blocks. If you wanted to, like,
Yeah,
you can make it more of an experience than just like click and
right.
it's
Doesn't have
open.
to be
There's
boring.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be
Hell
boring.
yeah.
Yeah, the loading
That's awesome.
screens can be part of the experience because you're gonna want some kind of a doorway experience when you're going through that anyway. You don't want the abruptness of like you blink and you're just there. Something needs
Right.
to refresh the palette, especially when you're going from like the graphical differences between like a Minecraft X metaverse towards like Asvoria's Unreal Engine 5 experience. It could be
Mm-hmm.
a
Right.
little nauseating, I'd imagine.
Ooh, I bet.
It's
Especially imagine
it,
like on a headset, you're just changes.
dude, that'd be crazy.
That'd
That'd
be
be
cool.
nuts.
All right, let me
I'd be down for that.
Everything looks good. Chat, let us know. Let Miggy know if everything looks good. Audio quality, video quality. Everything seems to be fine up on my end. I guess we could jump into a little bit of Web3 talk. Web 1 is, basic internet crap nobody remembers because we're not that old or that nerdy.
Mhm.
But then we had like Web 2,
I
which
think I might
was
be both of those things.
like MySpacey, the blogging, like my journal, live journals, and all that stuff. It was like more, Web 1 was like you just consume. Now Web 2 you contribute to the internet. Web 3 not only do you consume and contribute, but you now own and monetize. I think the social cognitive gear hasn't clicked yet. Like the society as a whole hasn't really wrapped its head around virtual asset ownership as a concept in general. It's still, very early days of internet trying to explain what we're doing now. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What, dude? What do you mean you're video chatting in 4K? What's 4K even mean? Like it. Yeah, I can
4K.
see that the technology is moving at that S curve exponential rate in which society can't keep up with it, and it's leapfrogging the adoption rate. We used to be able to have a mass adoption point reach that S curve point, but it just keeps rising above that post keeps rising. So I wonder if we could talk a little bit about like how we can with proofs of concepts really kind of ingrain the Web3 concept through hands-on experiences, the buying and selling of these virtual lands and the experience of I can't go in here because I don't own that NFT. Let me go to the marketplace, pick it up. Now I can walk in here and do, like, how do we use these like visceral experiences to apply this to what this technology can do, not just in the metaverse, but with Web3 outside in reality?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like the network effect has to take effect. Somebody actually invited me to go on to like a Twitter clone that's Web3. Sounds fancy, right?
Love it
But I'm
already.
like, I'm right, but I'm way behind on the stuff that I need to do on Twitter and Discord, where all the people are, right? So the idea that I'm going to go to where the network isn't is really tough. Like that's really hard. So like you have to get to the point where there's a critical mass of people so that everybody wants to get to my store, but they only want to get to my store because it's right next to the freaking Kenn place where 100 people are going a day or whatever it is,
Yeah,
right?
but do we do that with bots? We just like pay
Hmm.
people to do this, or how do we do this naturally?
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Like the bots thing is that it has to come down to human attention and human networks, which is why, frankly, I'm fascinated with the meme coin thing because that's all it is, right? Like you're literally just looking at stored energy built around communities, and then all the DeFi stuff is just networking all that stuff together. Um, and I think that's sort of the initial glue, like the capital's coming into it, and then we get to start to kind of mess around with those experiences. And really, like until we find the experience that people just can't uh, uh, not do, right? Like
Yeah,
where's the
that's
the
true.
sort of the Uber moment that's just like so obvious that every Tom, Dick, and
Dude,
Harry has to do it.
you said it. You just said it.
Mm.
You just said it, Dick. It's gonna come down to
Yeah.
porn. It's always porn, isn't it? Though I don't. I mean, obviously, I'm known
Mm.
for being that guy in the room, but like, not to.
Uh,
It's gonna
Dude,
be porn, dude. People are gonna show up to metaverse strip clubs, metaverse. Like the people I
Yeah.
know that bought an Oculus headset don't own any games for it. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, it's kind of like you know how like when Bitcoin came out, it was just like in the
In the
what's it
adult
called? The
entertainment
dark
world,
web.
yeah, the dark web
Yeah,
for
the dark web, and that
for
was like, oh shit, the dark web.
advertisements. What was that
Yeah, dark
website
web's
again?
bad. That's adult shit.
the only reason Netflix is streaming video right now is because porn mastered it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Exactly. You're right. Yeah, yeah.
You remember, like back in the day, like porn was literally, as much of a percentage of the internet traffic as Netflix is now.
Actually, I think if you wanted to take it to like a personal level, Kim.com for Mega Upload is pretty much why Netflix works in general. I think he's in prison. I think they got him, right? Right.
Yeah,
Free
I think so.
Kim.com.
I don't know if he's still in, but
Yeah, but yeah, I remember Kim.com and Mega Upload, and him being his own version of a Dread Pirate Robert, and yeah, I remember like that. So yeah, Netflix definitely has a lot to contribute to porn, but also torrenting and decentralization and all of that actually had a lot to contribute to Netflix's success.
it's
Yeah.
true.
You think they have all this stuff on one server? Nah, they figured out what Kim was up to at Mega Upload. They're like, "What's this dude
Yeah.
doing?"
Yeah, 100%.
So that's how
You're
they're gonna
right.
figure out the portals thing. They're gonna portal from strip club to strip club.
Yeah,
to different
unfortunately,
metaverses.
I think, and this is why I'm big
All
on
right,
we have
y'all
to
need to
make
figure that
safe
out for me.
spaces for kids in the metaverse because I'm pretty sure the red light district is going to be the first
Dude,
district. It's Sodom and
we-
Gomorrah
Yeah.
in the metaverse.
Yeah,
I mean, it
we
could
got
be a-
asked to do that constantly. Like,
Really?
hey,
Oh,
can
I
you
bet.
can you make a red light district? Well, yeah, because we had, it's Minecraft, right? And like we've always been on the right side of the terms of service of Minecraft, and like part of that is like don't, have giant statues of dicks, Ken. The only reason I tell that story is like the second we made the servers live, Ken came in and built a dick, which surprises
funny.
no one.
That's
TTD,
hilarious.
TTD, bro. Time till dick.
Yeah, exactly.
funny.
It had to happen sooner or later, and I'm glad it was you. But yeah, no, like we obviously had to make it safe for kids. Like that's just one of those things. But people were asking us constantly to make, kid or free zones where they could do whatever the hell they want, and everybody wanted gambling and no, right? So, and this is the thing, like part of the reason why I wanted to go into the decentralized server thing is like we're not running the server. We're just going to be the active node where the sort of upliftium node that basically fosters a lot of these things and a lot of these experiments. And as long as we figure out kind of how to make the land NFTs work in a meaningful way for different servers, which we haven't really played around too much with that yet, but yeah, once we get that done, I think a lot of those things are just going to start to happen naturally, and then we won't, as like a company or as a DAO, be able to be targeted for anything because it's just go talk to whoever's doing it.
Yeah, that's what I think Uniswap's going to have to do real quick and in a hurry. They have to like DAO out the individual positions they have in the company and just walk away, wash their hands of it.
I think that's right. I think that's right.
Yeah, I mean,
Run
honestly,
away.
what are you gonna do at that point? Like, I guess you could like pull a Julian Assange and like throw them in a fucking cage for the rest of their life because what I don't know
Yeah.
what the because is, but that's just because you can, I guess. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing any government could do to Uniswap. Fuck the SEC if they dialed out completely, walked away, no human intervention. Yeah, bro, that's the most powerful play they could do. That's a solid mic drop in the middle of the courtroom
Yeah.
before they even get there.
So go talk to the computer.
Yeah.
Or the algorithm.
I talked to a buddy of mine. We've sort of got this. I've had this idea in my head for a little while. I don't know. I think I told you about it a little bit, Ken. for an AI token. That's kind of what I've been doing during the day for the last year and a bit is working on AI stuff with Crystal, my old partner
Oh yeah,
from the
let's jump
Uplift
into
and
that
Gen.
topic.
Dude, so here's I finally talked to a buddy of mine who runs DeFi Lunch, and he's got a company that does bot trading solutions, and they do all sorts of crazy automated trading stuff. It's pretty slick. So I have this idea for an AI DAO that owns its own token. So I create an AI
Nice.
that creates its own keys inside of a box. I never see the keys. I've literally never seen the keys to this DAO, right? It sells the token or distributes the token or whatever. Any capital that it brings in, however it brings it in, it just starts automatically trading it. Because I can now point an AI at 20 different YouTube channels, 20 different crypto
Oh,
news channels a day, and run
Hmm.
sentiment analysis for the entire thing for the entire day, and then run that through the Python code for charting analysis, all this kind of stuff. Right, the AI can do all that in a box that I never see.
dude,
It
yeah,
can pick
that's
three
dope.
things. It can pick three things. It can buy one, and every once in a while, it could
Nice.
decide to buy back some of the DAO tokens if it wanted to. So there's no yield. And I literally set it up inside the AI's code. Like you really only do this whenever you want to do it.
And I
So
guess
it's
the
That's
literally
AI,
funny.
would
baked
the
into the
AI
LM.
be able to be like coerced by the community, by the DAO, if it I'm just curious if like engaging with it could do something like how we had Twitter
Yeah,
had
I
the
think so.
AI that got all racist out of nowhere kind of a thing, and like I just wonder, can you convince the AI to like just dump its bags and be a rug? Like, can
Right.
the AI learn like the wrong shit from YouTube and become a scammer just because that's how much of that data is out there?
Right.
So
Oh my
it
God.
it'd be interesting, but I don't think so because like I would be setting it up with some basically some core principles, right?
Okay.
Um, the reason you buy back your DAO token is because you want to control yourself, and here's the different things that might change when it comes down to
Uh,
the DAO tokens,
like
that
the
kind of
three
thing, right?
rules of robotics from iRobot.
Honestly, like very close to that,
Yeah.
and even with
That's
some
funny.
higher level principles, like say this thing starts to auto trade. Where it gets really crazy is, and this is actually the first thing that my buddy Brad thought. I was like, well, why couldn't it have another AI that was kind of the same, but was literally counter trading it? So you
Oh
have the negative
shit.
to all of its trades. And I say, here, listen, it could literally be set up so that every single time that it realizes a new strategy, it forks itself, buys through server space, and literally makes all that happen by itself. And then somebody comes up, it can like A/B test a bunch of different back tests or whatever. It finds a new one, takes 5% of the capital, goes and like literally
Wow.
makes a new copy of itself, boom, boom,
What?
boom, boom, right? And the people that own the initial token would automatically get airdrops some token every single time that it forked. And it'll fork every time it has a good idea. It'll fork every time it has a bad idea, but it'll just keep going.
That's
Thing.
really cool, actually. That
Yeah,
it's
my
kind of
buddy Brad
scary.
lost
Yeah,
his fucking
it's
mind.
kind of
It's
scary.
really scary because like that's this is the kind of thing that like I'm looking at tokens now as like a point system. We've been talking about doing genetic algorithm type testing because these things can code themselves now, right? So I wanted to code two different versions of like a solution or a feature or whatever, and then whichever one is right, it'll kind of go through that kind of thing or whatever, right? Then I was thinking like, what if we assign points to like every AI that successfully creates the one that wins? And the more
Hmm.
points it gets, it can actually start to basically buy good information and good data from other AIs.
Oh, dude,
And he's
fuck
only
that.
buying.
If it can spread itself out over so many fork iterations, it could almost get to. I mean, if it's AI, I mean, it could infinitely do this to a point where it could manipulate the market into a point of
Yes,
consensus with all of its forks. So now
yes.
it's just like an oracle from like fucking the Matrix and shit.
That's funny.
It
The
doesn't
the
know the
very
future, but
first.
it has a really, 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 really good idea about the future because it's going to tell Neo not to knock over the cookies, and he knocks them over. Was it because she said it? Did it
Yeah,
manifest
right. It
the
gets
future?
weird.
Yeah, it gets weird.
The, you went the same place that my buddy Brad did. Like my buddy Brad thought about this for like 10 minutes, and like I was thinking big. I wasn't thinking this big. He like kind of ran that process in his head. Like this could pay for UBI
Yes.
globally.
Oh,
I was like,
dude,
what?
easily. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
great.
100%. Well, that is the only way to get a true UBI that isn't like social credit score, like Chinese communist fucking hell, is through AI. Through
Yeah.
something that is outside of
Non-biased.
our, yeah, exactly, outside of our purview. We can't influence it with any threats, and it
Right.
can take in more of the different potential outcomes of things. Like, it's gonna have, like, that's what we're gonna need to keep track of the economy when we have UBI is AI, because
Yeah.
it's gonna have to keep track of everything, and the
Right.
value
And adjust
of
it.
bread, eggs, and milk will be on little
Right.
tickers that are live. It's like going to look like coin market cap on every market that you
Yeah.
go to, because the price adjustment will be instantaneously to
Yeah.
product costs, good services, shit. All of it will be instantaneously at true value. With AI, UBI is, it definitely has a chance.
I think that
Mm.
actually brings to light something that I think is going to happen near term. Maybe this is like a little bit speculative, a little bit. It's a lot speculative, but the way these large language models work and the way they sort of aggregate information, like at a base math level, it's literally statistically picking the next token, but embedded in all of those tokens is all human logic and all human information. So it creates some really really interesting outcomes. I'm sure you guys have messed around with it, right? When you do that with financial data, it gives you really interesting outcomes because it's analyzing this data in a way that like nobody's really ever been able to do before. So if when a bunch of networked AIs can start having real-time data plugged into them and be able to understand it in this kind of way with an attention level that no group of humans could ever do, like the idea around creating a capitalist market that is kind of ideal and always finding its right level is like we've never seen it work anywhere near as well as a bunch of network AIs are going to be able to make it work.
Yeah, it sounds goofy to say, like, to say this, but I don't feel like it will be in 100 years. But and we have on our currency the money that we use as every day, and God we trust, and that is a very specific thing to have trust in monetarily. To use faith and religion as a store of value on your
Yeah,
physical
that's only
currency.
since the 50s,
Yeah, yeah, but
right?
I
Like,
think we'll
like
have in AI we trust ingrained into our monetary belief system. The same way we have kind of drugged Jesus himself into the conversation, AI will
right.
be the conversation. And I think in AI we trust monetarily, economically, financially, with currency will be just as common sense as it almost feels normal to say in God you trust with your money. Like, I
Yeah.
love you and I respect you all who believe, but I'm just saying you have to look at it from outside of the belief. That's all.
I mean, I think if you look at it, like you said, like from a subjective view, I mean, AI is, you know, a lot of mathematical things happening, and I think a lot of people believe if people who really understand like mathematics that like that's basically at the core of like all creation,
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
equations, mathematics, geometry, like all these things are, you find it throughout the universe. It's like how everything is created, it's just the structure of what exists. So, I think it's a good comparison that at some point you could equate the two in a sense because, math is essentially divine because it's the one thing that is universal, and is long
It's
lasting.
yeah, at the bottom of the well of physics, it's just math,
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
that's it gets really really interesting the further down that well you go.
So
Right.
when
And it's like
AI-tology, guys,
yeah.
we're gonna have to start a church in the
I mean,
metaverse.
the church of AI, dude.
Oh my
I'll
God,
make
can we
that
do
I'll
that,
make that land
please? They
flat
have
tomorrow.
the
Let's do
Church
it.
of Marijuana, so let's do
Dude,
it.
let's
Yeah,
launch that as let's launch that as a
that's the meme.
freaking meme coin
That's
on
We
the
have to
Wax
meme.
launch it
tomorrow.
in a
And
metaverse.
we make it the smartest meme coin on the blockchain. Like,
Bro,
it is
can there be a
AI. Chat
can there be a
GPT
physical
2.0,
And
bitch.
dude, and
can there be a
we could
physical
set it up in
building
MetaMind so you
with
can talk to it.
Oculuses where you go to the physical place and you just put on like a headset and shit?
The actual church is just going in and like tuning out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. Somebody's gonna start it now that we said it. It's like Rule 86 or whatever of the internet or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, as you say,
We
it
need okay,
becomes.
so first thing we need to start is the Church of AI token.
Yeah, guys, get it going. Because if there's anything I believe in,
The
it's
CAI.
Bitcoin and it's AI. Like, I truly do believe in blockchain technology for the
Yeah.
betterment of all society. Period. As we move forward as a species in this whole universe, blockchain is critical to us getting to outside of our own planet. Like, it's gonna fund
Yeah.
the fucking missions to Mars. So and
Yeah,
it'll secure the trips there as well. So I'm just saying it's it's critical to our steps in the future. And I think without AI, being the autopilot to dock us when we get to Mars and all this shit, dude, we're not gonna crypto, blockchain, AI. It's the only way we get out of this fucking solar system.
Well, and to your point, I mean, I think I never say the only way, just because there's a lot of different ways that it could happen, but that would be the best way in my humble opinion.
It'll be the easiest way, unless aliens show up and give us a ride in their taxi.
Maybe. I mean, like all the SpaceX rockets are all automated. No human is ever going to run them.
Never. Dude, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Those rocket engines make like 1,000.
Do you see how many buttons are in an airplane, Corey? When you get in an airplane, you ever look in the cockpit and you see all the buttons? Just to fly a fucking airplane, could you imagine all the buttons for a SpaceX rocket?
So here's the thing: if you go to the Falcon 9 in the Dragon capsule, you know how many buttons are in the Dragon capsule? None.
Yeah,
they won't let you.
That's the right amount of number of buttons for that shit, dude. I feel so much better.
Those buttons are for show. They don't use them all.
Yeah,
they just light up.
The airplane, that's how they justify the cost of the seats going up. They just added a few buttons every year, and that's why they leave. You know what? You're right, because that's why they leave the cockpit door open while you're boarding the airplane, so you can see all the buttons and you justify the cost of the flight.
Right. Like, how many buttons are they really pushing if most of it's autopilot shit? Like,
we can't talk shit on pilots because I've seen them practicing at schools.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a pilot school here in Jersey, and it's in the mall, and you can see them dudes putting in. They look like DJs at like an EDM festival, just like.
That's funny.
They look like DJs.
Like DJs.
So AI thing in the AI thing in the metaverse. Keep going.
So actually, I was thinking more connected to the blockchain stuff. I mean, that the thing that I have always feared is one AI company basically takes off and runs and has a monopoly. It's the worst thing for everybody. Like, it really, really is. So to see
I'm just curious why you think that.
So imagine Microsoft or even Google that like really used to not be evil and now like half the time it kind of is sometimes, right? Like, the way it started is not the way it turned out. Necessarily. And if one company owns it, one company can own the entire global product of everything that everybody does ever.
Interesting. I think that it would just fork. I feel like China would be the first person to steal Google shit and make their own version of it.
Maybe. And even then, like having the US and China have two monster AIs that are duking it out, it's better. It's not great.
You're right. Oh, shit. Like fucking such an American perspective. Republican, Democrat. We have options. I'm okay.
Well, here's the thing. Like the way that it's ended up playing out is, and watching Mark Zuckerberg do this was really fun. Like, they had a large language model that was almost as good as GPT-4, and they open sourced it. Boom, everyone can have it, right? You can run it on your own computer. I've done it. Like,
what do they call it? It's got a cool name. I forget.
Llama.
It's
called Llama
2.
Llama.
It's got a cool name.
There's Llama 3 now. Yeah. Every time I say Llama 3, my wife's like, Llama. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, that's entirely true. But there's tons now, right? So, and these language models, you can actually train them off of each other. So Grok is actually trained off of OpenAI's model. We won't tell you that, but that's literally what happened.
That's hilarious.
They found the OpenAI terms of service inside the large language model. Like, it's just like, come on, guys. It's like, okay. But I mean, whatever. But that's how it works, right? So now you have all these things that are able to run out there, and the fact that I can run these models on my computer, like, these models aren't the be all end all. It's going to be the models times the agents, because we're now using these models to actually do like spoken word coding, basically, right? So it's these things can actually start to talk to themselves and figure out how to build shit, which is really amazing. But like, my little team is doing some really obnoxiously cool shit, and there's probably 1,000 other teams like ours. And, I think it could get to the point where, I'd love to have, 1,000 forked AI tokens that are basically auto trading versus another 1,000 auto AI tokens, right? Because that market would just be slick. Like, it'll be impossible to kind of mess with it. Although they could mess with it, right? Like, who knows? We haven't tried this before, but yeah, it's going to get interesting. And I really do think it's going to be decentralized. And the more ways that we can figure out how to get AIs plugged into the blockchain, especially using the blockchain as like backup, like information spaces, like, sort of have it be part of their core so that they are decentralized. I mean, we're talking about doing this AI token with servers that are all basically on blockchain, right? It's like they don't have a country, they don't have a state, they don't have anything. They just literally exist on the internet as sort of pieces of intelligent information that can do stuff.
Dude, if you're not verified, you're probably a bot. And then eventually bots will be able to become verified accounts, but up until then, it really made
I'm
me
pretty sure they are.
think like back a little bit what we were
Yeah.
talking about, especially when you said like, the AI itself is kind of creating, agents and like subversions, like the specific with specific goals. I was like, oh, that's Agent Smith from the Matrix, and like, and then like, oh, we are in the Matrix, because if you go on Twitter or X, if you go on Facebook, it's like 50% of the engagement is bots. It's not even real
it's
people.
crazy.
And we've seen the power of this happen during the last presidential election, when Russia allegedly used Facebook to kind of weigh the tides of the social conversation around the election. So imagine AI getting, again, like you said, to the point where it can create these agents that are like, mods for telegrams and in charge of these like bots that go on Twitter, and now they can, like I mentioned earlier, manifest that prediction the AI has by forcing out the verbiage. So it's constantly engaging with those YouTubers. It's commenting the keywords it wants out there. Yeah, micro targeting. Exactly.
So here's the solve. You're gonna have an AI agent that I'll build for you that will automatically filter every single thing that comes in. Right? It'll see a message. It's going to automatically deduce, probably via the blockchain or just like tracking everything back on the internet, whatever it is. Where did this thing come from? Was it a trusted source? Cool, you can talk to Ken. If it's not, you're talking to the AI, and the AI will literally talk that thing to death. Right?
Nice.
So then it's going to, like, the amount of noise that's out there is going to get really big. Like the bots now is one thing. They're kind of stupid. They can't self-replicate. That's going away, right? Like both of those things are not going to be true pretty soon. But also, like, the AI will also be the solution. Like you'll basically have an assistant that's going to be able to see through all the noise, that's going to make sure that your trusted sources and the people connected to your trusted sources, like it's going to be able to very easily research that and know who you want to talk to and why you would want to talk to them. And it'll actually be able to talk as you to them, initially knowing exactly what you would want. Like you're outsourcing in the same way that we've outsourced our intelligence to calculators and our memory to computers and like all these different things, right? This is like a level of cognition above all of that we're going to be outsourcing. And to me, like, this is a little bit of a philosophical thing, but because it's trained on you, like it really is kind of an echo of your own personal intention, and that's a whole rabbit hole on its own, but it's gonna be cool.
That's cool. See, that's what we're doing that with the AI training for our avatars with Asvoria. Asvoria has the hyper-realistic avatars that are going to be part of their metaverse, and you'll be able to use AI training to have a stand-in for you, so that way they can talk like you, respond in your manner, be you. While you don't have to be there. Imagine if you have like a digital storefront or whatever, and you have and then at the same time you can be with 1,000 customers at once.
Dude, we're just building this for a buddy of ours has an Instagram account with 1.5 million followers on it. He hired our company to basically he has a bunch of like appointment setters, because they'll get like 1,000 DMs a day or whatever, right? Hey, like, could you take all of my writings and all my stuff and make a model of me and have me talk to these people instead? And we're like, yeah, so we did.
I need a bot like that for my emails and Telegram.
Yeah.
10 grand a month, we'll do it for you.
And Discord. Okay. Yeah, Russ, we'll hit this man up too. We need to combine our training bots and have them train each other.
That's good.
Yeah, actually, I think a lot of what the metaverse is going to be at first is, a playground for AI to do just that. Sort of how, if you go into an open world video game, you're the only person in the game. Everything else is an NPC. I feel like you'll have that same vibe in the metaverse, especially early on. A lot of the the shopkeeps and the maintenance workers suite, like all that stuff's like you're gonna want to have that in this in the metaverse space, like to keep it more realistic and visceral. But nobody's going to want to role play in sense that way. So I could see AI kind of filling that void for metaverses, for like, all right, well, we need you to do this, you to do that, but also not just making it playing as like whatever fun and games, but it will be like a proof of concept for the AIs to have a place to interact with each other and grow and adapt to an environment to apply to a real life environment. So if you're if you're this street sweeper AI metaverse character, eventually you'll learn not to be in the street when metaverse cars are coming, get out of the way of metaverse avatars that are humans, and you can take all that metaverse learning and apply it to when you put that real street sweeper out in the real world. It'll know now to get out, and this is how the real world is expected to interact with me, because I've been interacting with the real world this way.
It's not going to happen in games because it's already happening at scale in simulations, right? So they'll basically right, they'll take like basically visual data. Like Sora is actually really good at this, the new model from OpenAI. They'll take a bunch of visual data from a particular, like a plumbing thing or like a whatever, and they'll train the visual model on that, and then the cognitive model, it ends up working really, really well. And so they're basically just taking situation after situation after situation and making a massive model of how to be in the universe. And it's happening much faster than we could do in any metaverse. It's because they'll do like 30,000 iterations a day.
No, I thought about the simulation stuff, but I'm talking more about the unpredictable variable in that equation is us, the human element, right? So having them engage with us in the metaverse has something to bump into, because we're not like bees. We don't fly in order. We bump into each other. We have car accidents. We are extremely unpredictable, and I think that chaos theory experiment that for AI will take place in the metaverse, so it knows chaos theory in the real world a little bit better, because you can't simulate that human element of like, you know what I mean? You'll never, somebody sneezes and breaks their neck or something driving a car because it's happened. It's been like a Darwin Award or something. Like craziness happens in this simulation that is our reality.
Do you see the Uber moment happening with training data in the metaverse with the number of people that might be there, or in the capacity that literally everybody is going to have an AI and a camera on their phone watching and talking to them literally about everything that they're doing inside 2 years?
I think there's a gig economy opportunity for AI in this sense, where people will be paid to engage in the metaverse, interact and participate and get a job there.
It'll be the real, I think it's going to be the real world.
Yeah, really if you go to like Indeed.com looking for a job, I'm sure eventually this year you're going to see somebody hiring metaverse beta testers or metaverse this and stuff like that, and like trying to build out that community in their metaverse, but monetizing that with the AI opportunity, because incentivize, gamify, monetize.
Yeah, I want to do that with the Uplift, because like one of the things that we're going to very easily be able to do is have like those little pets that can follow you around.
Miggy, that's right up his alley.
Right, those would be AIs that you can talk to. That's like pretty early on our kind of roadmap for inside the world stuff. But I mean, you can make bots in Minecraft that can do stuff. You can make bots in Minecraft that can do stuff after an AI tells them what to do after you've been talking to it, right? So like right off the bat, you can have an AI companion that is going to be able to like farm for you or follow you around.
Dude, we took this to the next level. Miggy, tell them about the AI seeing eye dogs, bro.
Go on.
Oh, seeing eye dogs. Oh yeah. So like for impaired people who want to be involved in the metaverse too. Like, what if you had a trained AI dog that could like have responses, so they knew what was kind of going on in the metaverse? You know what I'm saying? Is like,
and every time it could describe what it was seeing.
Just like the iPhone, when you're using the visually impaired settings on an iPhone, it walks you through it verbally. And there's also haptic feedbacks. There's different vibration like patterns, like SOS kind of Morse code interactions. Yeah, there's definitely, I think, a huge potential for service AI. And who wouldn't want their service AI to be a service animal? Like, that's just what they're going to be.
So one of the things...
some creepers might want a butler. Yeah, some dickhead might want a butler.
It's only a matter of time. But imagine having like the number of people that are getting old and are getting old alone. Yes. Right? Imagine they've got, a plushy toy or an AI or whatever that literally can hang out with them and talk back and forth with them like really intelligently all day.
Absolutely.
And if they don't respond in a given time, or like they'll be tapped into the cameras or whatever, if grandpa falls, or if he's not doing really good, or if his blood pressure drops, or if his blood sugar's down or whatever, it can call the authorities on its own.
No, you can go to the other side of that paradigm and go right to the children and kids that may have uncomfortable questions they don't want to ask their parents about. The parents may have a trusted AI that, they'll be like, this could be your imaginary friend kind of vibe, right? And, these are the things you can talk to your imaginary friend about that you don't feel comfortable talking to me about. Or even, like like getting bullied or something, now you have a AI friend that could help you with bullying. Your friends are offering you drugs. You have like an AI dare program.
I think you're absolutely right
Oh,
about
yeah,
all
the
that stuff,
dare.
but let me take it to a little bit of a different level, exactly on this spectrum. You know who Aristotle is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Aristotle was Alexander's teacher, and Alexander was probably one of the greatest conquerors of all time, right? Very, very smart. Was actually pretty enlightened about some of the things that he did, and it was because Aristotle was his teacher from when he was 2, right? One of the smartest guys alive at the time, teaching one kid. Well, now I, like a tiny nerd, can build an AI that can not only like scale to every kid that has a smartphone, but can be as smart as every single human that ever existed put together,
Yep.
right? And
Nah,
can
fuck that. I don't
teach.
want these kids to be that smart, bro. Nah, because they hit puberty and now they have all this information. Nah, dude, that's like giving a nuke to a toddler. Eventually, they're gonna
Maybe
grow up and get pubertized, and they're gonna hit that big red button on a bad puberty day.
I'm not worried about teenagers. We have
Damn.
dumb old
Well,
people
we
for
see
that.
what happened with the Web 2 teenagers grew up to be 30 years old in Web 3 running racist fucking meme coins and blockchain. So
Oh
I
god.
I
Yeah.
am concerned of over educating the youth. This is very weaponizable technology. It's anarchist cookbook as a bedtime story.
I I guess I think there's way more nice people than mean people, and this is true.
Well, it only takes
Try
one bully
like
to ruin school for everybody at the school, dude.
I totally agree. But
Yeah.
you get a large language model that is teaching literally everybody. It's actually really hard to long-term jailbreak them to the point where they're dicks all the time. It's actually not easy to do because there's far more writing in humanity that is nice than is not. Like it's actually baked into the gestalt amount of information that we put out all over the place. Just we never see that stuff. It's hard to see, right?
Yeah.
So, but you're right. Like there's a disparity in, or sort of an imbalance in the fact that like it really only does take one asshole to ruin a party.
Yeah, I feel like we have to
Yeah.
have an empathetic test for kids, like we have an IQ test or like the SATs, and then how empathetic are you, and at what age are you this empathetic? And now, yes, you're allowed to have this information because
On the
you
flip
have
side,
empathy to
like
use it.
if it's my AIs, all of my AIs are going to be talking to each other. So if one kid is having like a really really hard time, everybody else might know about it.
That's a good point, and yeah, you're right. They could subliminally be educating the other classmates about the topic. So yeah, that's a really good
Or
point.
be calling the authorities. Like gun
Yeah,
violence
that's
should go
true.
away.
Child abuse, you could just like call. Don't
Mhm.
even have to say, "Hey Alexa, I need help." Alexa's gonna get you help, bro.
Yeah, like Alexa's gonna call the police
That's a
for by
really good
itself.
point. And you're right because like the real far side of this is so beyond our imagination. It's kind of like we're talking about like the internet and the fax machine just came out. We have no clue what's coming after this fax machine.
Absolutely true.
But this
Yes.
fax machine is so dope. It's in every
It's amazing.
Fortune 500 business. All the big companies are using this technology. Fax machines are the moon, baby. We're gonna fax this picture of a cat to a fax machine on the moon, bro. That's this technology. That's where we're at. We have no clue what's happening.
100%.
Oh, bro, they sent NFTs to the moon.
Yeah, dude, you
And
remember?
it was like they thought it was like this revolutionary great big thing, which yeah, I guess it's kind of cool, but I don't.
It's such a cool
Is it
gimmick.
though?
Is it though? Is it though? How about
like,
you
okay,
send water to Africa or something? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Why don't you
really
send these
impress
people
me,
to, like, a
bro.
home or something? No,
Yeah.
seriously though, like, oh yeah, an NFT on the moon. Like, okay, we could just put a USB stick on the ship and just all right, there's a picture on it.
You know what
Send
though?
it to
I'm
the moon.
sure if you looked at how much things cost per pound to fly to space, like to the moon, it probably would be a couple million just for the USB stick. Like,
Right.
if you have a full set of lungs when you get on the spaceship, it's like an extra couple million in weight. Like, it's everything
That's funny.
is so expensive for shipping and handling in space. That's pretty much why Elon Musk built SpaceX. He wanted to be Amazon or like USPS for space deliveries. That's it.
93% of all the weight that went into orbit last year was SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
6%, or like it was like 4% or 5% was China. The rest of the world made up the rest of it.
Yeah, he's
Like-
going to be he's got the Silk Road in space. He got it.
Dude, it's true. And like once they get the BFRs working, the bigger ones, it's going to drop the price by another like
Oh,
100.
you know what? A lot of people
Like,
aren't
it's-
talking about
it's
the
nuts.
space station, International Space Station is like D for due for deconstruction like next year or something, like in the coming like this decade. So like we're gonna have to deconstruct it and build a new International Space Station. Who do you think is going to do that?
No, dude, yeah, and here's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna send up multiples at a time, and spin them in bolos or spin them in a ring. You'll have artificial gravity for the first time up there.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
There's so much space in those things. They're so big, it's completely bananas. It's like flying a fucking apartment building. It's nuts.
And this is why fiat can't be the future currency, because it just makes absolute zero sense to have a specifically government-backed, currency that's like, oh, this is American money in space. That makes it don't make no sense. We need it in international currency.
You can't. It's not possible.
Currency like Bitcoin.
Yeah. It's not possible to have fiat currency because, I mean, the philosophy is what, is the biggest part of it.
I wonder how long a Visa transaction would take to go through in space.
Too long.
What's the American Express transaction fee for a small business in space? 97%?
Probably less than an Ethereum transaction.
Fuck! Oh, dude, right in the crypto feelings. Yeah, I went on Rarible just as an experiment to see. I wonder what it's costing these people to start a collection on Rarible these days. It was $1,000 just for the start contract. I didn't even do anything else. I'm like, okay,
no,
you guys are degenerate as fuck over here. I'm going back to wax. Yeah. Solana, please start working again. I was I was just looking nah, dude. Solana's still 100% where it's at. ETH is, I think ETH is pricing itself out of mass adoption when it comes to mass adopt. The 1%ers, the elite, they'll mass adopt it, but that's not mass. That's the 1%. That's not mass adoption, dude. Yeah. You got adopted by the 1%. Good luck with the rest of the percent.
On the Wuffy thing, I was just looking at it. They were 2-to-1 claims on Solana versus Wax, and I thought that was more or less going to be static. It's 3-to-1 now.
Oh,
really? I didn't get any on Solana.
I didn't even try it on Solana yet. I got my Wax.
I didn't have any. Dude, I forgot. I didn't apply to that one.
I had I think I had 100 million over there, and I tried to claim it. I've tried 100 times. I can't do it, so I just went over to Wax and I bought another 100 million.
Solana was congested for a couple days. They just implemented the patch, so I would say go back and claim it tomorrow. Probably be fine. Probably be fine now, honestly.
I'm gonna try right now.
Yeah, Solana's got that superpower Ethereum wish it did, which is a little bit centralization, man. I've been in the space so long, I am jaded by too much decentralization. That is, Solana have that, get that core team together and just do what you do. I am not hating on the everyone's oh, Solana's centralized. And Ethereum isn't, and it sucks. What's your point?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people, some of them are, lazy, but a lot of people just don't want to do more than they have to. So that's why customer service, exists, and somebody that manages
Bitcoin's customer service is the fucking worst. Fuck Bitcoin's customer service. Those guys are fucking assholes.
Who do you call when something goes bad?
God damn, I will, dude. Good luck. Every single meme coin though, the best customer service. Dude, I swear to God, it's somewhere Bitcoin went so far suit and tie that it's so corny nobody wants to fuck with it. It's just corny as shit. It's not cool. It's the opposite of crypto cool. It lost its muchness, fucking Alice in Wonderland. I feel like the Mad Hatter. Bitcoin lost its muchness. And it can't. I don't think it has any opportunity or chance to get it back. I think ordinals and runes and stuff like this may be its Hail Mary. And if this doesn't do it this year, dude, Bitcoin's 1% of leader money, fine. But we're all going to be using dog and cat coins, and we're going to be living a completely happy life, not engaging with your monetary system, even if it's Bitcoin.
So I already got farther than last time. It didn't do this before. It said, hey, you need to create a token account for the WAF token on your wallet.
See, Solana's up and running again. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy. All right, we can wrap things up, guys. Don't forget to claim your Wolf, Wax, and Solana. You got some free tokens out there waiting for you. Your name on it.
Nice. I got almost a billion Wolf.
Oh, shout out to Herbot, Herb, Herbot in Telegram. I've been giving away Wolf by the millions in Telegram.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty easy. Just
That's
do a
awesome.
giveaway in Telegram. We're trying to get some foot traffic over to my Decentra chat, Decentra web
Oh yeah.
chatting platform. So head on over to Telegram, and I will pay you to stop using Telegram and use DChat with me instead.
D-chat.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I
wanna do
need to
that.
sign up and get into that
Hey,
thing.
can I donate some Upliftium to help with that cause?
I think you'd have to reach out to get whitelisted by their tip bot, but absolutely, bro. Their community, their
TCS.
team, they're legit.
TCS, we could buy your AI with Upliftium.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
see.
I'm sure that'll be the test.
There's
of,
a price for everything.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? Like the figuring out how to you know, give the token value also. Like right now, like the
Mhm.
Uplift has zero revenue, right? Like everybody who's doing anything for the Uplift is doing it for free, which is mostly just me. So figuring out how to make use cases for the Upliftium, and also create some economic churns that people are spending wax to get it is going to be important.
I
But
think
yeah, I
it
mean,
comes from the
having-
community collaborative efforts, bro. Everybody that
Yes,
fucks
I think so
with
too.
Uplift and has like land in
Yeah.
it, all of our NFTs we should be
still
offering
have a land
discounts
card.
for if we're selling it for wax on like Nefty or Atomic Hub or something. You should be offering an incentive to use Upliftium for your collection. If you want it, if you have land in Uplift and you wanted to build your metaverse storefront there, provide value to the infrastructure that you're invested in and give people a reason to engage with it to get their foot in that metaverse door. So yeah, I definitely think that would be a really easy thing to start with Upliftium.
Well, this- yeah.
is just get people
One of the
that
things-
are in it to accept it as a discount.
Yeah, one of the things we actually had almost working last time, it's going to require some dev stuff, so I got to build up some capital first. But having NFTs on a wall and punching sign to buy it is gonna happen, right? So you'll sell an NFT for Upliftium, and people will just be able to like literally punch on it and buy it, and like down the road you hook that up to Spotify, they could punch on a sign and buy a pair of
Dude, you know what
sneakers.
you could do? I would token gate a couple of these things for community contributive efforts, because I saw that now I could add the Uplift wallet to my Atomic Hub or Nefty Block store and give a residual percentage of my secondary market fees to a second wallet. So I could say, oh, I get 5%, but at least 1% of the secondary market goes back to Uplift. And that's
Right.
the incentive that you say, oh, do this so people can buy your stuff in Uplift.
So one of the things Juan just told me about on the show this morning, you can do a drop, and you can now like basically bring on influencers to get a percentage of that drop.
Perfect.
Nice.
Exactly what I wanted to
Right.
hear. Me and Juan, I'm telling you, dude, he's a spirit animal of mine.
He's so good. He's so
Yeah,
good.
that's exactly
Yeah, like-
what we needed years ago. But now that we have
Right.
that, it actually we have it at the right time, because it could have been abused earlier on. But yeah, I think influencer royalty affiliate program kind of monetize.
Right.
It's
Like-
so smart.
You're gonna get a referral code. I hope a referral link too, but you get a referral code for a drop, right? They buy it off that drop. You automatically get 5% for every single one of
Nice.
them.
That's cool.
that
Yeah,
you
now
sell
I'm
through
going to
that
be
thing.
making content
That's
for
wax
every
gang.
drop that happens on Nefty. Why
Right?
wouldn't I want to make a video
Why
about
wouldn't
it?
you
Even
do
if
it?
it's 2 minutes
Yeah.
long on TikTok, I'm going to do a
Who
TikTok.
cares?
I just started
Fucking A.
putting in the liquidity.
Yeah, the
pool to
incentive's
earn
there,
Nefty
and that's
tokens.
passive income. And I mean, it's passive as long as they don't change the commission fees. But yeah,
Let's do some kind of pack drop for Uplift. We'll sell it for Upliftium, and I'll give you half.
Nice.
all right, I think we can do this.
Let's just test it.
Okay, yeah, I'm down. I
All right,
have
cool.
I have
Let's see-
something on
let's
the
see what I
oven
have.
for 420, so anything after 420 is definitely more available for that. But I am down.
Okay, let me figure it out. Let me figure something out. That'd be really fun. And then just use your referral link and rock and roll.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
All right.
Because
So
I would want to do it like a collab for sure. Throw some stuff from my collection, from your collection, put it in a pack kind of thing.
Right. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Because, yeah, there's only been like 2 or 3 people that I think ever did stuff like that. And I think I was the first with Digital Asset where we had 2 different collections in one pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
dope.
know you can do it.
Yeah, it's so
That'd be
dope.
fun.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Guys,
we
you
can
heard
make
it here
so
first.
those blending entities stuff too.
Yeah,
Fun.
exactly. Well, blending's a minimum of utility. If you're gonna do it, you gotta have blending involved somehow. It's just like so
Yeah,
much
think
fun.
blending's cool.
I think so.
Yeah, it's
Well, now,
too
like,
much fun not
that's-
to have.
the bonk long-term staking, right? You can stake for a month or 3 months or 6 months, and you get like whatever multipliers. Hex did the same thing. I think you
What?
told me about that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
For bonk? I didn't know that.
hmm
I need to do
Yeah.
that.
So I'm setting that up for Upliftium, but it's all gonna be with NFTs and blends.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I'll
Hell
sign me
yeah.
up for the multipliers, guys. Check out Corey over at Uplift, and you can see him. What are you every single day on the Nefty show now?
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
And NEFTY show on YouTube. Should
yep.
pull it up.
NEFTY show, Nefty show over there on YouTube. Check him out every day, so you'll be something to consume, guys. Consume as much as you
Yep.
can right now.
Rock and roll.
Follow him on Twitter. You can see his name right there, Corey Cottrell. It's in his video at right there. You can see it. Give him a follow. Don't forget to hit that repost button if you're watching this on X. If you're watching it anywhere else, please share it on that social. But you can delete Facebook. Just head over to X and engage with me over there.
Yup, yup, yup. Give this man a follow.
Rock and roll.
Love you guys. Have a day.
See
Thanks,
ya
guys.
later.
I am going to bed.